Well, that was President Biden yesterday, once again saying that he had no advance notice of the FBI's plan to search former President Donald Trump's private residence, Mar-a-Lago. Here to weigh in is former Department of Justice Public Affairs Deputy Director Ian Pryor. Ian, welcome back to the show. All right, from your experience, how realistic is it that Biden didn't know at all this was happening?
Well, there's a couple of different scenarios in which a president might not know about what's going on at the Justice Department. Now, that's not to say the White House would know. So traditionally, the Department of Justice would coordinate with the White House counsel's office. Now, so there are certain things, certain policy things where the Department of Justice may be engaging in, or in a high-profile indictment, or maybe it doesn't get up to the president's the president's desk and it goes through White House counsel's office. But when we're talking here about something that is of historic proportions, where they are going to raid a former president's home, I find it extremely hard to believe that the president of the United States was not keyed into that by White House counsel's office, because I guarantee White House counsel's office was absolutely informed by the Department of Justice. And if White House counsel's office did not inform the president, well, then they would have some explaining to do to him, because, quite frankly, again, with this historic nature of this and the political ramifications that come with it, it's their obligation to tell him what's going on. But, I honestly don't believe it for a second that he was not informed in some way about what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, this is so unprecedented. You think they would let him know? Maybe they're trying to protect him. But to your point, the president's legal counsel team would have known. The White House counsel team would have known. And actually, we know this for a fact because the National Archives released a letter that they had sent back in May to Trump's legal team, where they say in this letter, in part, they say, the counsel to the president, okay, there it is, has informed me that President Biden defers to my determination regarding whether or not I should uphold the former president's purported protective assertion of executive privilege. It literally says Biden in there. So he knew this investigation was happening. Maybe he didn't know about the raid, but he did know about the investigation.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And again, I highly doubt that he did not know about the raid. He would have been briefed on what was going on all throughout this. This is a massive bombshell, okay? This is not, they're revising a memo on how they're going to, sentence or deal with other issues, out of some district throughout the country where, there's an indictment, right? We're talking about the former president of the United States. He absolutely knew. Look at the timing of this as well, right? The Inflation Reduction Act passes the Senate on Sunday. Okay, they get the warrant on the Friday, and then they execute it on the Monday. Okay, that to me looks like political timing. Let's not get ahead of this big legislation package that's going through the Senate. I find it highly unlikely that none of the congressional oversight committees, the judiciary committees in the Senate or the House were given a heads up on this. It's absolutely insane that the president of the United States would not know this, especially since he'd been briefed on this very issue in the past based on those documents.
All right, since the raid has happened earlier this month, the feds have actually come out and said that absolute secrecy is essential to protecting both the investigation and national security. Obviously, one of the reasons the Department of Justice doesn't want to redact much in this affidavit, which we hope to see more on tomorrow. But some people at the department, as we've talked to you about before, have been leaking some very classified information to outlets like the Washington Post and to the New York Times. So far, no one at the FBI has said a word about these leaks. They haven't said this isn't us. They haven't said, we distance ourselves from them. In your opinion, should they come out and distance themselves? And if they don't, can we assume that they are specifically leaking these on purpose?
Well, I mean, can they? I don't think they can distance themselves from them, because I think it's probably coming.
Because you think they're doing that?
Yeah, or at some level of the Department of Justice. I mean, it's coming from somewhere. And that's really the unfairness here, where you're going to get a very heavily, to the extent this is made public, it's going to be very heavily redacted. It may be completely useless, to be honest with you. They're going to protect their sources. They're going to protect their methods. It is going to be a bunch of black boxes on a document that is going to be impossible to decipher. Yet, at the same time, the things that are being redacted, that are being provided to the public, potentially are being leaked through the media. Extremely unfair, extremely unprofessional. But that's ultimately what we're dealing with. I don't expect that we're going to get a lot from this affidavit other than heavily redacted information and further leaks to the media.
We'll have to wait and see. Ian Pryor, good to see you this evening. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.